What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and I've got some video footage of Senator Joe Manchin explaining to us why he has changed his mind on passing the reconciliation bill. Now, in addition to that, just very quickly, I'm going to be explaining to you why I have changed my mind on some of the things going on right now as well. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update, and stimulus package update. Now, for those of you that follow me here on the channel, you know that I have done 1,300 videos updating you on stimulus here on YouTube. And it just kind of feels like, you know, I'm going to continue to give you guys updates to make sure that you know about everything. You don't miss out, because a lot of this is not freely given like it should be. But what people really need is assistance and help. Congress does not see all the comments that I see of all the people hurting right now that are on the brink of losing their homes and that are suffering. And I just kind of feel like, what else can we do to make sure that we remind them that people are still hurting right now? So I've been trying to think about what we could do, and I was thinking, in addition to the relief roadmap, as you guys know, I've been working on that for quite some time now, hoping to have it ready for you this week. We maybe should form like some sort of community on that webpage that we've created. And upcoming this month, starting next week, Congress is going to be on recess. They're going to be away on their yachts, their Maseratis, eating ice cream, whatever it is that they do, while people are suffering. And I was thinking maybe we should all get together. Maybe you could join me. We could partner up and all reach out to them at once. Maybe blow them up on their social media, on their cell phones, their voicemails, their emails, and just send them a little reminder that we're still here, still waiting for those unfulfilled promises. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I've been up since 2 a.m. this morning working on that project. Maybe I'm just a little tired, but just trying to think about what else could be done proactively to get people the help that they need. I don't know, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that's a good idea? Maybe we can try to do some research, get all of their contact information, and all at once. Can you imagine thousands of people all at once hitting them up, reminding them, hey, what happened to the fourth $2,000 stimulus checks? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys. But yeah, if you want to do that, maybe we can do that as well. Go to www.reliefroadmap.com, add your email, and if I see a lot of comments and support for that, maybe we could set that up starting next week. As soon as the recess starts, we can start pressing them for a little reminder of some of the promises that have been made. But you guys, in addition to that, let's take a look at what Senator Joe Manchin had to say. As he's saying, after over a year and a half, he now has agreed to pass the reconciliation bill, so you can hear it directly from him. They're going to be discussing also Kyrsten Sinema and passing this through in the Senate. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Before we dive in, though, if you could do me a quick favor, if you appreciate the updates, don't forget to take a quick second, smash the like button for me. Helps out my channel with the YouTube algorithm. Also, leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. All you got to do is very quickly hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Remember, I don't have a WhatsApp, so if you see a picture of me saying to contact me on WhatsApp, it's a scammer posing as me. Don't fall for it. Only contact me on Instagram at SteveRam3. And I've got a second channel, Steve Ram Finance. If you're interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance, consider joining there as well. And again, keep an eye out, www.reliefroadmap.com. I'm going to be sending out a mass email to everybody this week as soon as I get that all set up and figured out. I'm not tech savvy, but I'm going to figure it out. Message everybody. We've got about 5,000 people on the list right now to keep you updated about what's going to be happening with the relief roadmap and contacting members of Congress. But with that being said, you guys, let's take a look at the video footage. Let's go ahead and dive right in.
President Biden is back in isolation this morning after testing positive with a rebound case of COVID after being treated with Paxlovid, though his doctor says he no longer has any symptoms. This time, Biden does have some good news to mull over. First, the bipartisan passage of a bill to boost competition with China on the manufacturing of semiconductors. And second, a sudden possible deal in Congress on a massive plan to begin to tackle the climate crisis, high drug prices, and address big companies that avoid taxes. The breakthrough, after more than a year of negotiations between Democratic Senator Joe Manchin and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, took almost everyone in Washington by surprise. The plan would invest $369 billion into energy and the climate, allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices, extend Obamacare subsidies, and aim to close a loophole for tax dodging corporations that report more than $1 billion in profit. But with 100 days until the midterms, will these successes come in time for Democrats to sway any voters before November? And will Democrats on the Hill be able to get the bill to President Biden's desk? Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia joins us now to discuss. Senator, thanks so much for joining us. So 16 days ago, you said you wanted
Thanks for having me, Jake.
You said 16 days ago, you said you wanted to wait to pass any major legislation because of what you called an alarming new 9.1% inflation rate. Inflation has not gone down in those 16 days. What changed your mind?
Well, Jake, basically what changed our mind, Chuck, we re-engaged. To Chuck's credit, we start setting down. Our staffs kept talking through. I never did walk away, but we reorganized the bill, if you will, because what we had before that, there were things in there that I considered and thought it could be considered to be inflammatory, and I want that to happen. Inflation is the greatest challenge we have in our country right now and around in my state and around the country. So that's what we're fighting. And we started talking again. We got the bill down to where there's nothing inflammatory in this bill, even though there's some naysayers. I'm sure you're going to always hear that, but there is nothing in that. We're paying down debt, $300 billion. We're increasing production as far as if you want to get the gasoline prices down, produce more energy and produce it here in America. That's what we're doing. And we're investing in the technologies for the future energy. So we're doing everything to bring manufacturing back, keep people working. And I think it's a great piece of legislation. And on normal times, my Republican colleagues would be for something such as this. Excuse me. We've basically paid down debt is what they want. We've accelerated permitting, which is what they want, and we've increased production of energy, which is what they want. We've done things that we should be doing together.
Yeah. Since you announced your deal, new GDP numbers obviously are sparking fears of a recession. There's a Penn Wharton analysis that found that your bill, quote, would very slightly increase inflation until 2024 and decrease inflation thereafter, unquote. Senate Republicans also released a new Joint Committee on Taxation analysis yesterday showing that in the short term, your bill would actually result in a small increase in federal taxes for Americans. Like I said, short term, but still. What evidence do you have that this bill will reduce inflation and will not increase taxes?
Chuck, first of all, I respectfully disagree with the people from Penn Wharton. They're wonderful people. We've worked with them tremendously. We just have a disagreement on this. But you know, there were 17 Nobel laureates who said that inflation was going to be discretionary. It wasn't going to happen. Okay, it wasn't going to be permanent. Well, we found out they were wrong. And people can be wrong, but how in the world can it be inflammatory? How can it add flames to the inflation fires right now if you're paying down debt? You're increasing more production from fossil industry and energy, and we're doing it cleaner anywhere in the world. We'll be energy independent. We're making our batteries for our cars to be here made in America before you get any credits whatsoever. We're doing everything we can to make sure that we attack the problem. And these are solutions to the problems we have. So I know everyone's playing politics with it. This is not a green deal. It's not a Republican deal. It's not a Democrat deal. It is a red, white, and blue deal. And this is what the American people want, solutions and a balanced energy approach.
I know there are individuals like former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers who say they do not think this is going to be inflammatory. They do not think it's going to cause inflation. But do you have evidence? Are there studies about this bill that say that it will not cause inflation to go up?
We looked at everything humanly possible and had everyone cross-sectioning this. But basically what we did is we said, okay, the tax rate was 35% in 2017, Chuck. It went to 21%, a 14% reduction. Jake, I'm sorry.
No problem.
It went to 14%, Jake. I know, he's your friend. 14% reduction. And everyone thought, well, that's tremendous. They were tickled to death at 21%, okay? Well, they got to 21%. And I never knew there were people basically not paying any taxes. Most of the people in West Virginia, all corporations pay at least 21 or more, and around the country. So don't you think they ought to at least pay the 15% minimum when we already gave them a 14% reduction? That's all we've talked about. So we never raised any taxes. We're just saying close the loopholes and collect the taxes that are owed to the Treasury and the United States people. That's all we're trying to do. And we didn't do it, so we're not adding there. We're not putting a burden on any taxpayers whatsoever. and we're going to create more energy for them to pay lower prices at the gas pump, hopefully lower prices at the food store, and lower prices basically in all their daily needs, energy prices especially.
Yeah.
And energy is a driving force right now in inflation.
So you need all 50 Democratic senators to pass the bill. Senator Kyrsten Sinema, Democrat of Arizona, still has not said anything publicly about this plan. We know that she has previously opposed closing the so-called carried interest loophole that, for instance, allows hedge fund managers and private equity investors to pay tax rates of 15% instead of higher. When's the last time you spoke with Senator Sinema, and are you open to any changes that she might suggest?
First of all, Senator Sinema is my dear friend. We work very close together on so many things, and she has so much in this piece of legislation. She's formed quite a bit of it and worked on it very hard. And with that, she's brought down drug prices. She's been very instrumental in letting Medicare go ahead and negotiate for lower drug prices, saves $288 billion, brings the price down of drugs, and it's going to be a tremendous help to people across America. And I agree with her 100%. We're not going to raise taxes, and we don't. And on that, I think that basically when she looks at the bill and sees the whole spectrum of what we're doing and all of the energy we're bringing and all of the reduction of prices and fighting inflation by bringing prices down, by having more energy, hopefully she will be positive about it. But, you know, she'll make her decision, and I respect that.
When did you last speak with her, and are you confident she will be on board?
Well, we speak, you know, I speak with everybody, as you know, and we've always been very friendly, and we speak a lot, and you see us on the floor and everything. Jake, the reason people weren't brought into this, I didn't think it would come to fruition. I didn't want to disappoint people. Again, they were all disappointed. Everyone was upset and mad in my delegation, if you will. For 8 months we worked on it. I couldn't get there with Build Back Better. It was $3.5 trillion of spending. And this is taking $3.5 trillion of spending down to $400 billion of investment that's definitely going to make a difference in America and everybody's pocketbook. And that's fighting inflation. That's what we're doing. So with that, I didn't want to build anyone's anticipation up, and then they come down and like a yo-yo with all the drama that goes into this. So I just basically hunkered down with my staff. We've been doing this since April and May diligently, and then we thought it fell apart. A couple weeks ago, we came back to Chuck's credit. Let's start talking some more. We did, to see if we could scale this thing to where we could basically put it in a position that we have it today, which I think is great, a great opportunity. It's not a Democrat bill, it's not a Republican bill, it's definitely not a green bill. This is a red, white, and blue bill. It's great for America.
The Senate leaves for August recess at the end of this week. That's the schedule anyway. Will you have passed this legislation before you go back home to West Virginia?
I sure hope so. I think that's been the plan. I didn't, you know, when it came all to fruition, and this past Monday, and I was tested positive on Monday morning, so I was kind of confined up and everything, but we were working daily, day and night. The staff was working, and everyone was interacting, and things start coming together, and by Wednesday, we had texts that we all agreed on. The president agreed on it, and so did Nancy Pelosi agreed on it, and Chuck Schumer and I agreed on it. So we had an agreement for something we've worked on for a long time, and I think that's what it's all about.
If it passes, this bill is poised to be one of the biggest achievements of the Biden presidency. What role did President Biden play in these negotiations? Does he deserve any credit for this bill?
Oh, absolutely. Jake, let me tell you, you don't do anything of this size and magnitude, and this is changing. It changes the whole energy production we have in our country. It changes the investment portfolio for the energy of the future. It creates jobs back here because we give incentives. We didn't send a check to anybody. We gave them incentives to earn it. And that's the bottom line with investments. But you don't do a bill this magnitude and this size without the president knowing what's going on, the president being involved in to a certain extent, but also giving approval. And that's what President Biden did, and I'm forever grateful that we have an agreement and a piece of legislation that's going to be really, I think, changing the whole landscape of America.
As you know, in the last couple of years, you've faced a lot of criticism, public and private, from your fellow Democrats. Senator Sanders said you didn't have the guts to stand up to special interests. Congresswoman Jayapal said you betrayed your commitment to Democrats. She said you weren't a man of your word. After all that, how does it feel that Democrats are now running to embrace this legislation?
Jake, I take none of that personally at all. I understand the frustrations they had and everything, but I don't look at it as politics. I didn't look at it as a Democrat or I had an obligation, responsibility because I have a D by my name, and I sure don't look at my Republican friends and colleagues that that's my enemy. They're my friends. We're all Americans. Can't we put our country first? That's what I've always said. So I'm not going to make deals, and I'm not going to make negotiations, and I'm not going to vote because it helps one party over the other party, or it's good for the next election. This is good for America. This is what this is all about.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That was Senator Joe Manchin on why he has now agreed to pass this reconciliation bill, now known as the Inflation Reduction Act, and he's saying that it's not going to be inflammatory, and those that are claiming that it will cause minor inflation short term, he's saying that he strongly disagrees. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but looks like they're going to be passing this through unless Senator Kyrsten Sinema decides not to support it. Remember, they've got to get all 50 Democratic senators on board to pass it with the majority vote known as reconciliation through the Senate. So we will see. I will keep you up to date. Now, in addition to that, we've heard that everything following it hinges upon the passage of this bill. So keep in mind the fact that there are not stimulus provisions in this Inflation Reduction Act. However, once it passes, then it is very likely we've heard that we're going to be seeing legislation and executive actions following for direct assistance stimulus provisions, the first of which we've heard is President Joe Biden wiping out $10,000 of student loan debt, which we heard he's going to be addressing this month. And I will keep you up to date on that, you guys. But with that being said, once again, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to take a quick second, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. All you got to do is very quickly hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And also, like I said, join me, www.reliefroadmap.com. Maybe we can reach out to members of Congress, give them a subtle reminder that, hey, what happened to all those promises that we had? And also providing a resource to you of all the stimulus checks on every single level, states, cities, counties, so you don't miss out on anything that's available to you right now. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.